So in recent polling, I just saw this probably about 2 days ago, and I just wanted to make a quick video because it seems as though Pierre Poilievre has actually increased his lead once again. He was, let me just check here, he was at 30 something, high 30s I believe, and then as of this new recent polling, he is now at 40%. So he is continuing to go up. He's up plus 4 points. So they were at 36, they're up at 40 now. So that means he's continuing to gain popularity. When you look at the Liberals, it still makes me laugh when I see their polling numbers and they're still in the 20s. Like, it's just 26% of people actually still like this guy and like this cabinet and think that Canada is headed in the right direction under Trudeau. I can't even say it with a straight face. It's just hilarious at this point. But either way, the Liberals are at 26, NDP's at 19, the Bloc's at 7, Green's at 5, and so on and so forth. But, I mean, it's good news for Canada that Pierre is doing well in these polls. Again, I can't imagine what he would have to do to make people switch back over to the Liberals. But that being said, like, a lot of us think that Justin Trudeau is going to enact this universal basic income program, essentially to buy votes back over to his side, which might work. It's definitely going to work for some Canadians. How many of a percentage point is that going to improve Trudeau's chances by? I don't know, he might go back up to around 30%, maybe a little bit more, but I don't see him overtaking Pierre Poilievre just with a universal basic income program, especially when you consider the fact that he's a liar and he's probably not going to really do it. But either way, Pierre Poilievre has also been recently touring in northern Ontario, visiting places like Sudbury and Sault Ste. Marie, etc., etc. Now, a lot of those areas and cities are going to be voting for him anyway. Northern Ontario is usually, it's kind of, because I've seen maps in the past where they tend to vote for the NDP sometimes, but there's also a lot of conservatives up there. So it's good that Pierre's going up there to kind of, bring home his message, if you will, to this common sense conservative party, because there are people who I think are getting mad at the NDPs as well for forming that coalition. So it's a good idea for Pierre to go up there and start talking to people and say, hey, listen, I'm honest, I'm a conservative, but I'm more of a libertarian populist. I want what's better for Canada and for the people of Canada, and he might convince a lot of them to vote conservative. I hope he does. Because again, I mean, the Liberals are bad enough, the NDPs would be even worse. We're already starting to see signs of that in Toronto and Hamilton. I'm sure you guys are sick and tired of me bringing it up, but it is kind of screwed up what's happening in these two cities, where you can just see the numbers of homelessness getting worse, rent's going up, taxes are going up. We were without bus service for about a week and a half, and now in Toronto they want to spend $8 million to change Dundas Street, the name of Dundas Street. These Liberals and NDP politicians, if you even want to call them, I mean, I guess it's a good word for them because politicians are liars, but they clearly do not have an interest about any issues that Canadians are facing, unless it's a social issue. Oh, we need to change the name of Dundas Street because Dundas has a history of racism. Oh, we need to make sure that there's tampons in men's bathrooms. Okay, like, people are homeless. They're starving. They can't buy a house. You want to give an option to restaurants to have tampons in men's bathrooms? I don't really give a shit. But to make that like a priority, something like that, to make something like that a priority, when you have so many issues going on in Canada, it's very clear. These people just have a woke agenda. They want to create a woke society. So as long as they give you their woke ideologies and their woke policies, Canadians will be happy. There's a certain person with a German accent who says you'll be happy, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Can't remember that guy's name. Can anyone remind me in the comments section? I don't even know if you're allowed to say his name on YouTube, but either way, it seems like that's what the Liberals and NDPs really want, and that's what they agree with. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. And that's why we need politicians like Pierre Poilievre to come in and change that narrative, or else we're all screwed.